Alongside me, Lord Moylan and Paul Embery remain. But look, it is Friday. Dewberry Tavern is open. So cheers to each and every one of you at home. And cheers to my panel. Cheers. Cheers.
Paul. Cheers.
My favourite part of the week, I can't lie. Look, I'll tell you what else is my favourite part of the year, actually, not just the week, Christmas. And who doesn't love a Christmas market, eh? Do you get involved? Do you like your local one? Well, a village in Lincolnshire has been forced to cancel their Christmas market. This is because, this Christmas market, it had been a thing for 25 years. And now the list of health and safety stuff that they have to do in order to facilitate this market, it was just too much. This year, they had to prepare for the risk of a potential terror attack. They had to basically close multiple roads off, pay for traffic marshals, fill in so much health and safety stuff. They just decided they couldn't do it with great sadness. They just couldn't progress with it. What do you think to this, Paul?
I think the terrorist thing probably for Woodhall Spa, no disrespect to Woodhall Sparians or whatever they're called, is probably a bit over the top. I can't imagine for a second that terrorist jihadists are looking at attacking Woodhall Spa particularly. So that seems to me to be a bit disproportionate. But there are police. Greater Manchester Police, for example, tweeted a warning to people when they said,
"We've got it.
Well,
let's get it up on the screen." They were basically saying, "Look, the Christmas markets are coming back, and don't worry about it, everyone. We've got increased police presence." Whilst having two fellas with what looked to me like machine guns, there was a backlash towards that, and they had to delete that tweet, and they issued an upgraded, amended version of it. But continue.
And I think I saw that when it was posted. And I think first of all, I think it's very sad that a British police force feels the need to advertise a Christmas market and then in the very next breath say, and we will effectively, have police there because of the threat of a terrorist attack. That's essentially what they're saying. And we know that the threat comes from jihadis, although they obviously didn't mention that. And that strikes me as, once again, fundamentally different to the society that we had even 20 years ago. I can't imagine a police force would have posted something like that. And when we're in a situation where we are holding Christmas markets, as we've always done in this country, but at the same time feeling the need to warn people against terrorist attacks because those markets will be a target, I think we do have to accept that we live in a fundamentally different society, even though so many people at the top of our society like to pretend that it's not happening. And these same people will often trot out the mantra, diversity is our strength. And I think anybody else knows, actually, that simply isn't true. Even if you are somebody who's in favour of the utmost diversity, the truth is it is not our strength. It is our greatest challenge. And posts like the ones that we've just seen, I think, are
I used to have to use the razor that my ex-girlfriend used to shave her legs. It scratched me and it made me feel weird. But fear not, because Manscaped is back with a game changer. This isn't just any old shaver. We're talking about the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver with two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. One for that baby smooth look and another when you want to keep it a bit rugged. Get this, it's waterproof. You can use it in the shower, by the pool, or even while scuba diving if that's your thing. This beauty runs for 75 minutes on a single charge. That's enough time to shave your face, your mate's face, and still have juice left over for touch-ups. You'll also get their Power Shave Gel for a proper wet shave experience, and a face shave soother to keep your mug looking fresh and irritation-free. It's like having a barber in your bathroom, minus the awkward small talk. Click the link in the description and use the code GBN for a whopping 20% off and free shipping with the code GBN at manscaped.com. Join the 11 million blokes worldwide who trust Manscaped. Your face will thank you, and so will your wallet.
proof positive of that.
Daniel?
I agree with all of that, actually. I think the poor people of Woodhall Spa, the fact is that the local council and police seem not to have wanted this to happen, and the council loaded them up with more and more forms. Where I live, we have, it's not a Christmas market, we have the Residents' Association have an annual street party. The street's closed off by the council for the course of the afternoon and the early evening while the party's going on. There's music and local police are involved. They're not there to patrol it, as far as I know, but they come along as part of the community, and so on. And it works, and the council's very supportive. I think if they don't want it, they'll load you up with forms and get rid of it.
Has the risk of terror attacks changed, or does it change your thought process when considering things to do with your kids?
It doesn't stop me doing the things I would do, but there's no question that I think you do think differently. I mean, I'm in central London quite a lot, and it's impossible not to notice the bollards along some of the main bridges. And other areas of our cities, have got bollards because of fear of a terrorist attack. And even things like going into museums and galleries now, 20 or 30 years ago, even more recent than that actually, you would just rock up to the British Museum or whatever it is, whatever museum, and you'd go in and you'd wander around. You can't even go into places like that now often without going through the whole sort of screening process and emptying your pockets and so on.
It's a sad state of affairs, isn't it?
It is a sad state of affairs, but it's almost a conspiracy of silence. People, I think, like to pretend that it's always been this way, but in fact, it hasn't always been this way. I mean, I'm old enough to remember a society that wasn't like this, and I'm not suggesting actually the measures that have been put in place are wrong or disproportionate or over the top. I think the truth is that there is a terrorist threat out there, and we can't relax in some of our towns and cities or at some of our festivals or events in the way that we once did.
But let's be fair, Paul, a lot of the measures you see of that character, bag checks, things like that, we should remember a lot of those were introduced as a result of IRA activity.
I'm not sure about that.
I remember it very, very clearly.
That,
I remember they're all going in. I remember even in the House of Commons, you used to be able to walk straight through the House of Commons. Nobody stopped.
Not museums and galleries. Places like
a lot of them.
No, a lot of them.
I don't know about football stadiums. Well, I'm not. Can't do the football thing with you, but I'll take your advice on that. But in the museums, galleries, and so on, all of these things started to do with the IRA when they started bombing us as well. So it wasn't all related to foreign or Islamic or jihadism or whatever. We grew it ourselves here in the UK when it started. And of course, once it's in, it never goes. It just gets strengthened because nobody ever has the courage to say, let's take that out. Because if something then did happen, they'd be the one to take the blame.
It's a ratchet effect.
For taking it out. There's a ratchet effect. It always goes in one direction only.
But we've got to be able to have honest and brave conversations about this stuff because you'll all remember that awful terror attack about Ariana Grande, that concert, and you'll all also remember that it came out in the inquest, didn't it, that the guy, the security guy, he had concerns, didn't he, about that fella with a massive backpack who he instinctively knew there's something not quite right here, that fella looks out of place. He didn't dare say anything because he didn't want to be called racist. And I think, of course, are we still in Islamophobia? Is it Awareness Week or month? I can't remember which one it is, but many people will talk about people having issues with the likes of Islam, but no one ever seems to acknowledge, well, why is that? Why do some people have a concern about that religion? Because there seems to be this massive disability, if you like, or it's just a refusal to look at the fact, well, actually, so many terror attacks have occurred now in this country by people who say that they're acting on behalf of their Islamic religion and trying to perform jihad. Of course, it makes people anxious about that religion. I'm not saying that all Muslims are terrorists or anything even close like that, but you've got to be able to have honest, robust conversations about why people feel afraid, what's driving that. Because only then, if you have those conversations, can you actually start to figure out some solutions to some of these challenges that affect so many people, no?